video this because I'm very, very novice when it comes to TIG welding aluminum, and I've got to fix the cracks in this wheel. Watched a lot of videos, and like, you know what? Don't take what I do serious at all. There are a lot of videos from actual welders out there that go through this. The one thing that most of them do, take a cutting wheel, cut straight through the crack, beyond the crack. Some drill a hole in the end, some say you don't need to. I probably will take a drill in there, and I'm going to take a die grinder and open that up some so I can bury that root down in there. I'm going to weld both sides of the wheel. In here I'll probably lay passes back and forth once I have it all filled. That's just for a little bit of extra strength. And then on the inside, you know, there we go. I'm gonna weld it in and make sure that I have good solid weld, doesn't look porous. And then I have to grind this shape back into it for the wheel or the tire to beat up on. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and we will see how it goes. So to show you guys this real quick, so there's a crack within a crack. You can see it there on the left side. So I got to try and grind in and get that guy out of there too and fill it all up. So anyways, it's gonna take a little bit of messing around here because it's right down in the crack where I can't get in to cut it very well. And I don't have an aluminum die grinder bit. The steel one's getting plugged up pretty bad. So I might even take a drill bit and just try and drill that section out and ream it with a drill bit and get it cleaned up. Alright, I'm not going to video anymore. I'll bring you guys back, but you can see, you know, even as much as I cleaned out in there, you can still see a crack down on the bottom. So I'm going to work on grinding down in there again, drill bit and whatever I can. I got to get to the bottom of that crack. It is sealed from the outside. I got to get that cleaned up. Then I can start laying filler in here. But it's actually bonding all right. It's just really awkward welding at these angles. And like I said, I'm very novice at aluminum welding. I've only done well, I don't know, 3 or 4 little tiny projects, and I'm learning all along. I welded up some coupons before I started today just to get a little more comfortable with the machine, but it's not even my machine, it's my friend's. So anyways, that's where we're at. I'm gonna work at it. I'm not gonna video. I'll bring you guys back once I get it done. Well, there's our back side of the wheel. Threw a little extra weld around it. I'm not gonna worry about grinding that bottom out. It'll be fine. A little extra strength in that lip. See how hot this wheel is. I want to flip it around for you. There we go. There's the inside. I have to touch it up just a tiny bit with the grinder. But for the most part, it's laid down in there really good. I sat and cooked on that for a while, working back and forth, bubbling out impurities and watching for cracks. And anywhere that there was some, I stopped, re-drilled, cleaned out. I'm pretty confident that's all solid metal in there now. So hopefully we won't have a problem. Like I said, these wheels, they're low speed off-road, and I'm going to put them on the back. So I'm not too worried about it. If it cracks out again, I'll find some other wheels. But these ones were free because they were cracked. And I figured, what the heck, I'll try and use them. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the shop. I've been cleaning up a lot lately. Got a little get-together coming up here pretty soon to celebrate baby coming. So lately that's all I've been doing. My mom's been down here actually helping me clean because I get distracted and I'm not good at cleaning, and she's the voice of reason. So anyways, worked on the Jeep a little bit. I'm very limited still, but I got a few things done. Made some temporary mounts just to set the coils in the rear, because I need to get this thing sitting down. I need to get the wheels bolted on. I got to get these two wheels swapped out for those two wheels. Then I can get the rear wheels bolted on, and I can set it down on heavier dollies. Got some actual car dollies down there. But then I can push the Jeep out of the way and get my shop back. Right now it takes up so much space, I can't do anything. It's right in the middle. And so for the party and everything, it's gonna get kind of pushed off the back into the corner and out of the way. So I got a few things I have to get kind of figured out before I go moving it. I'm gonna build the lower spring mounts for the front, and then I'll do some sort of a temporary for the upper as well. I'm not gonna build upper mounts. That'll probably be about the last thing that I do, because I need to have all of the weight in this Jeep when I go set and ride height. So yeah, just temporary for now for mobility, and yeah. All right, everyone. I've been kind of picking away at this, working real slow, trying to get a game plan for things. I'll turn the camera around here. So on the front, I had Gateway Materials. They cut out all these 1/4 inch thick plates for me. Had them do that months ago. I'm finally getting around to building coil mounts. So all I did was just tack that plate in. That's all it is. There's no supports to it. I'm working on building the gusset pieces to go up under there, and so that's all I'm working on is that piece. I have to start on this corner because it has all the mounts in the way. The other side is wide open. I just gotta design this side and build 2 of them. It'll go right on the other side. In the rear, I showed you guys that I have just the pieces of tubing there to put the spring on. It's still sitting on the sawhorses, but the sawhorses are not touching the floor. It's sitting on the jack stands and the jack. So that is full load on the spring right there. So we should be sitting about with that fender opening when we're at ride height. It could adjust up an inch or down an inch. I don't know yet. That's all still to come, but at least we're getting closer there. Things will clear. I did jack up and check clearance on the upper link bars that I had to bend, and they actually clear really well. The tire will be hitting the top of the fender well before that link bar can get into the fuel tank. So we dodged a big bullet there, and I'm very happy with how things are going. Oh, I also moved these out to the outside of the frame, and this bar, the tire also hits before this bar contacts the frame. It's close, but it doesn't hit. So we're making big progress doing small things, and I'm very happy with it. If I can get these lowers built for the front axle, then I'll try and find a way to load this spring and see how much it's going to sag it with the weight, and I'll build, it's kind of the same thing I did in the back, just something temporary to hold it to where this thing sits close to ride height. Hopefully I can get it to sit level, and then tomorrow my dad's going to come help me swap the tires onto the other wheels, and I can get all 4 wheels bolted on. Hopefully be able to cut the sawhorses out, and this thing will be mobile in here, be able to roll it around, and I'll have it on casters, but I can push it around too, but at least it'll be able to roll on the axles and be able to move it. So lots of progress. Like I said, small stuff, but it's the small stuff that adds up that makes big things. So pretty happy about it. I'm gonna keep going, and I'll show you guys here in a minute. After looking at it, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is, instead of cutting that side off and lifting it up because the mounts are just wrong for that, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is probably notching this plate to fit around the cast right there. So I'll have to cut it in a little notch, but it'll be okay. I'll make it work. All right, so that piece was tacked in. I just put these to the frame and tacked the tips of them, that's it, because I wanted to make sure that everything is good and square, and obviously they're not. I need to work them a little bit. But then I can mirror it on that piece and should have 2 mounts for the lower. I will be drilling a hole and welding a nut in the center of these eventually, but I just haven't done it yet. But that way I can do a double capture on my coil spring. Actually, that'll just be a lower capture. The upper, I don't know how I'm going to do it. It might just end up being on a slide tube. Why'd you guys let me do that? I even told myself not to do that. And I did it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I bet you can see what's going wrong. One of those plates needed to be about 3/8 of an inch, half of an inch shorter to be able to weld on there. And I didn't cut it down, so now the whole plate sits way crooked. So I have to try and figure out how I'm gonna butcher that thing up enough to cut enough off to make it sit right on there. Plus, I also have to go back to the other side, break it off again, and I have to raise it just a little bit because it's sitting down on this tube and it can't sit down on that tube over there, so I have to raise it a half an inch. So that's not ideal. Not ideal at all. All right, so I took a pretty good notch out of it. I cut a little more out than I need, but I'll bridge that in with weld. It'll be okay. I gotta heat up. Before I weld to the cast, when I have this thing gutted, I'm gonna preheat that thing with a weed burner or something and get it nice and hot. I'm gonna weld the tube to the section here that I cut off. But yeah, got the coils sitting in place anyway, and I won't put load on them yet. I think I'm probably gonna end up breaking those tacks back off. I guess I can get down in here. I was worried about being able to weld the insides of these tabs, but that doesn't cover it too bad. So I think I'll be all right. I'll be able to go ahead and move forward with it. But yeah, we got lowers, and the rear lowers are actually just gonna fasten onto the old leaf spring pads. They already sit square, sit nicely right in the middle of them, and so I think I'm probably just gonna clean it up. And those are cast, so I'll preheat those too and burn the plate onto it, weld a nut on for the spring capture on the bottom, and then I have to build upper mounts. Got to build all the uppers. I've already told you though I'm not doing that until probably about the end, so I can set right height with them. But we gained. Small stuff adding up. I'm loving it. I think to finish today, I'm going to grab my grinder. When I had the 43s on, I realized how close this is, so I'm going to grind that a little more, and then I got to grind a little bit more on this side, but they do clear. I just want a little bit more clearance. So yeah, we'll remove some material there, and we're looking pretty good. Another thing that I did, and didn't do it on camera, is these upper links. See if I can get an angle and see. You can't tell much, but I did actually throw a bend in both the uppers to be able to clear the body back here and clear the sump on the fuel tank. So by doing that and the other stuff I'm going to be doing, I should be able to have 5 inches or 5.5 inches of up travel in the back without any problems of the link bars crashing into anything. So I did that off camera. This weekend I'm probably going to do it. I got to cut the tacks off of here and move these mounts to the outside of the frame because they do contact each other when trying to articulate right there. So I got to get it outside, outboarded a bit. Not outboarded, but out flush. And I got to do that on both of these. And then the upper mount here, I put it way too high on the frame. So I'm actually going to cut the tacks on it and just drop it down where it sits on top of this lower mount. And it'll still give me 4.5 inches of separation between the two, which should be all right. And that'll get our upper link down closer to flat, sitting at right height. And it puts it at still a 1/2 inch higher on the frame side than the axle side, but I think it'll be all right. But yeah, once I do that, that'll actually help to stiffen up the lower mount on this side, tie all that stuff together, do some gusseting and bracing, and then this side I'll have to just do some gusseting and bracing on to stiffen it up. But yeah, we're starting to wind down on fabrication under here, which is nice. Things are going to kind of shift to where I'm going back up into the Jeep. I found some seats that I might be going to pick up next weekend. They're actually a full set of seats out of a 2013 JK, and I think I'll be able to do a few little modifications and make them work. But once those are in, then I can start focusing on getting my steering wheel put, centered on my seat, and getting the brakes put in and building the cage, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being out from under this and up on top, and where you can actually start seeing some progress again. But slowly but surely, plugging away at it. All of you that are following along, I try to say it every time. I don't think you guys realize how much it means to me that you do follow along. It's fun, and I really just want to say thank you. I appreciate it, and hopefully, as I keep going, hopefully my editing skills get better, and the project starts wrapping up. Once this project's done, this isn't just a build channel. It's springtime. The other Jeep's ready to go, and I'm hoping once I get cleared from the doctor and they say, yeah, it's okay, go ahead, I'm hoping to be out spring wheeling here pretty soon. So there'll be a lot different content coming. It'll be building and using, and hopefully we can gather a few more subscribers to grow this channel. So anyways, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.